This classic episode of the Electric Playground is brought to you by PMP Games, your source for everything video games. Support the partners that support Electric Playground. Remember, this episode first aired in 2001.
This week, we're going to take a look at all the new Star Wars games from LucasArts.
That's right, we're here to talk about Obi-Wan for the Xbox, Racer Revenge for the PlayStation 2, and Rogue Squadron 2 Rogue Leader for the GameCube.
Hey, is this where we sign in?
We don't serve your kind here.
We're not the hosts you're looking for.
You're not the host we're looking for.
We can go right in.
You can go right in.
Move along.
Move along. Move along. Oh, what's your authorization number?
After you.
Why, thank you.
Today on EP, it's a Star Wars spectacular. We take a look at Rogue Leader, Rogue Squadron 2 for the GameCube, Obi-Wan for the Xbox, Star Wars Racer Revenge for PlayStation 2, and reviews on the run are from the Forest Moon of Endor.
Everybody remembers that Star Wars Starfighter game for the PlayStation 2, right? Well, they're doing an Xbox version which is enhanced. It's called Star Wars Starfighter Special Edition. Excuse me.
Hello, pilots. I know you're all familiar with Star Wars Starfighter for the PlayStation 2. Today I have a more treacherous mission for you. Star Wars Starfighter Special Edition for the Xbox. The 14 story missions that you're familiar with from the first Starfighter are here again, as are all the bonus missions. We've added new bonus missions, as well as adding 5 new multiplayer modes. R2, show some of the new missions. What R2 is showing you now is the training mission in the canyons of Naboo. As you'll see, the frame rate is silky smooth. The detail on the canyons is even greater than it was before, and all the gameplay that you've come to expect from Starfighter is here on the Xbox version as well. Any questions about the first mission?
Yes. Commander Thompson, is the story the same in this game as it was in the original Starfighter?
Yes, we're keeping the story missions the same as in the original Starfighter. Our sort of philosophy was, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And people were very happy with the story and the single-player missions from the first game.
I got a question there.
Yeah.
Do we got drink holders in these X-Wing thingies?
Let's stick to questions about the missions themselves, okay?
Can you elaborate on the multiplayer modes in the new Starfighter?
We've added 5 new multiplayer modes to the game, one of which is a dogfighting mode, which is a pretty standard thing in multiplayer modes. We also have a capture the flag mode, where you need to fly to your opponent's base, pick up a flag, bring it back to your base to score a point. We also have an interesting mode called tag, and there you shoot the other player, basically tagging them, and then it's your job to evade them while they try to shoot you back and tag you.
Oh! Oh!
Yeah, Tommy.
Hey, does R2, does he run on batteries, or do you have to, like, plug him in every night?
Let's focus on the missions at hand.
Was it difficult porting the game from the PlayStation 2 to the Xbox?
Well, one benefit we had in our effort to do that is that during development, we had always kept a PC version around for development purposes. So as the game evolved on the PlayStation 2, there was also a PC version evolving right along with it. And as many people know, the architecture of the Xbox is more similar to a PC than the other consoles.
I got one.
Anyone else?
Oh! I got one.
Anyone in the back? Again, Tommy.
Do you know who Chewbacca's hairdresser is?
On that note, I think we've covered everything, so you're cleared for takeoff now. Tommy, I'd like you to stay and talk to Admiral Akbar after the briefing. Thanks.
Today on Question of the Week, Tom S. from Sausalito, California asks, how many video games have been based on the Star Wars movies?
Since the Star Wars movies first came out in 1977, there have been over 30 Star Wars games to grace video game consoles, from the Atari 2600 to the upcoming Nintendo GameCube. Some of the best titles out of the Star Wars catalog have been Episode 1 Racer for the Nintendo 64 and the upcoming Rogue Leader Rogue Squadron 2 on the PC. There have also been an extremely large amount of successful Star Wars titles like the X-Wing and TIE Fighter series and the Dark Forces series. So if you're a fan of Star Wars and a fan of video games, you have a ton of options.
If you have a question about the video game industry, visit our website at www.elecplay.com.
You're watching the Electric Playground, and you'll be right back.
Lee here with a few reasons why you should be shopping at PMP Games. The selection, everything from retro favorites to contemporary hits. The shipping, free on orders of $65 Canadian or more within Canada and the USA, and we also ship overseas. The stickers, when you spend $65 or more, you get a limited edition sticker based on our silly nonsense. Locals can check out our retail stores in Winnipeg, but for everyone else, we're at pmpgamesonline.com. Support us as we support the Electric Playground Classic. Play forever. No, that's a good sticker.
Practicing my Jedi Force powers. Hey, speaking of Star Wars, LucasArts has a new game coming out for us. It's called Star Wars Racer 2, Racer Revenge. Better get back to work here. Whoa. Whoops.
I'm with Dale Geist. He's the producer on Star Wars Racer Revenge. How's it going, Dale? Pretty good, Vic. How you doing? I'm doing great, man. You guys are pretty good on these things. You've been racing around quite a bit? Oh, yeah. Every single day I take a couple laps. So, Dale, what's the difference between this version and the old version of the pod that we all played? This one's going to have a lot more crashing and bashing than the first one, just like in the movie. It's very aggressive. Not only are you going to bump into walls, but you're going to be trying to take other racers out. What about the characters in the game? What do you got going on this time? Anakin's going to be there, but see, this is 8 years later, so he's a teenager now, and now Sebulba's back. He's been humiliated in the first race, so he's back for revenge. And what about the different pods? This is 8 years later. Are these things a lot faster now? They're much cooler than they were before. Sebulba's got a brand new pod, and so does Anakin. They're all beefed up. They've got some new financing by the Hutt, so it's just a much more fast and aggressive game. So why'd you guys choose Rainbow Studios for this game? What's up with those guys? Well, Rainbow Studios is an amazing developer, and they've had a great deal of success with their racing games. They did ATV, Off-Road Fury, and we're really excited about working with these guys because they know their way around racing. Talk to me about the style of the game. What are the graphics like in this one? This is a next generation PS2 game, so you're going to see a lot more polish and a lot more detail on the surfaces and a lot of cool special effects. When you boost, for instance, you get this great blur that you're going through, and the engines are going to have really cool flame effects coming out of them. Anakin must be a teenager in this game. Does he have sort of a teenager attitude? Yeah, he's about 17, and he's got the coolest hot rod that you can imagine. So he's out there and he's having a lot of fun. So you guys got any secret special sneak peeks of episode 2 in this game? I mean, it's taking place 2 years before the movie, right? Yeah? Listen to this. It's been a long time, but we're happy to report that we're finally going to be able to play Star Wars Obi-Wan on our Xboxes. We sent in our own Jedi Knight to find out more.
I'm here with Dan Connor at LucasArts, and Dan is the director and Jedi in training for Obi-Wan on the Xbox. I see some great battling going on here. Is it a fighting game like this, or is it adventure?
We're trying to put together the best of both worlds. You go through and learn your fighting from the Jedi Masters, and you take it out into the world.
When does this occur? Is this episode 1? Is this episode 2?
0.7, because it would start right before episode 1. Gotcha. So we start off with some adventures in the lower bowels, of course, and then you move on to a new swamp planet called Obi-Wan that we invented for the game. Then you move into the episode 1 kind of time frame, so you're on Naboo.
Can you fight Darth Maul?
Oh yeah, you'll
Yes.
definitely fight Darth Maul.
So you guys must have done a lot of research with like real lightsabers in order to get the motions.
Yeah, you know, Tommy, I can show you something.
Yeah.
I'm gonna need you to be careful, so just don't do anything, all right?
Whoa!
Yeah.
That's a real
Yeah, check that
lightsaber, dude.
Yeah. Now, remember, be careful with it.
Whoa!
We got the
What's that?
we got the remote training droid
Whoa.
from the old Star Wars movies. You remember that, don't you?
Yeah, I remember this.
Yes, you'll be Obi in no time. All right, Tom, you're doing well now. Let's go over and meet some of the guys. We'll talk to them a little bit about what they do. This is Jeffrey Kung. He's one of our level designers.
So what are you doing here there? I see this whole wire thing happening.
I'm basically designing the gameplay and placing the Tusken Raider for this Tusken level.
Okay.
You just draw a box and stick in a Tusken Raider.
Oh, there you go. And that's a Tusken Raider. That's like a close-up view.
Right.
Hit apply. Oh, it's great. Yes, I mean, that's easy. Hey, what's the Enterprise doing here? Oh, here this is
Tommy,
Star Wars.
Relax. Let's go over and talk to some of the artists. Let's head over this way. Over this way, Tommy, we have Jeremy War, who's a level designer on one of our beautiful feed levels.
Hey, Jeremy.
Hey, Tommy.
What are all these lines happening here?
What we do is, once we build a level, we have to lay down a node map.
Node map.
A node map.
Okay.
What a node map is it lets the AI know where it can and cannot go. The node map is dynamic, so like if a box falls on the top of the link, it'll turn red so the AI won't look stupid.
Oh, I see, right. It won't walk through the box. So do you have to do this for every single area in the entire game that somebody can walk in?
That's right.
Now, where are all these diagrams and things up there? They're pretty cool. Please, were they important?
Thanks a lot, Tom.
Were they original?
Let's get out of here. You're out of control.
Oh, hey, Lee from PMP Games here. I'm just farming some weapon grinders while everybody else is offline. Say, what's your favorite time of day to play video games? Whether you're up gaming first thing in the morning with the sunrise or staying up late at night into the wee hours of the morning, I just hope you're playing something great. And if not, shop PMPGamesOnline.com, your source for everything video games. Find something new to play. Play forever.
Like Star Wars fans everywhere, we love talking about the movies. So we caught up with Lucasfilm's Steve Sansweet to do just that. And he gave us some inside info on the upcoming Attack of the Clones.
I think, you know, I'm one of the biggest fans of Star Wars, and I just started out as a fan back in 1977 when I first saw the movie. I saw it a couple of weeks before it opened on the back lot of Fox because I was a journalist. I worked for the Wall Street Journal, got invited as a journalist, and just was blown away like so many other people when that Star Destroyer just zoomed overhead. In the early 90s, I heard that they were looking for someone to write a price guide on Star Wars collectibles, and I had already started collecting. I started collecting from the very beginning, and I called up just cold and said, you know, if anybody's going to write a price guide on Star Wars collectibles, it should be me. And Lucy Wilson, who was just starting to head a new division on publishing, said, well, who are you? And we had this initial conversation, and that led to my first of 9 books that I did on Star Wars. And it was not the price guide, but it was a book called Star Wars from Concept to Screen to Collectible. And it was how Star Wars went from an idea in George's head to the screen to actually becoming a cultural icon. When I first saw Star Wars, it was Luke Skywalker was my favorite character. And my favorite scene was the wordless scene when he steps on that little hill and the twin sunsets are there and he has that sense of yearning. He wants to escape Tatooine. He wants to be part of the greater galaxy. And I guess at the time I really related. As I grew older, I related more to the older Obi-Wan Kenobi. And I sort of assumed the role in my personal life and in my professional life as a mentor. And I guess my favorite character now is Obi-Wan Kenobi. But it's going to be a more adult movie with more adult situations and more adult characters than we've seen in Episode 1. It's a darker movie. And we're going to see a little more passion in it. We're going to see Anakin Skywalker has grown up. He's a handsome young Jedi. But he's a bit of a rebel, and he's great, he's charismatic, he's also flawed. And he falls in love with someone who, we know from episode 1, Padme Amidala, but she's also a little different than we've seen. She's freed from the burdens of being the Queen of Naboo, so we see her in a different light. In episode 1, we saw multiple Jedi, and they were all seated in a circle. We see a lot more than seated Jedi in episode 2. We see some real Jedi action. And I think as I've read the script to episode 2, there are other things about Obi-Wan that develop, but he still has that mentor role, and he has more character in episode 2. We also see, finally, the start of the Clone Wars. We're going to see a lot of questions answered in episode 2, but in such a way that we wouldn't expect. A lot of things are going to be turned upside down in our minds.
Back in the Christmas of 1998, I was completely addicted to a Nintendo 64 game called Star Wars Rogue Squadron. I thought it was the closest we'd ever come to actually being able to play the Star Wars movies. Well, then I saw Star Wars Rogue Squadron 2 on the GameCube.
I'm here with Brett and Julian, and we're talking about Rogue Squadron 2, Rogue Leader for the GameCube. Yo, guys, come in. You read me? Over.
I copy, Tommy. Brett is standing by.
Yeah, Brett, let me start with you. What does this game have in it that the other Rogue Squadron didn't have?
Rogue Leader has advanced AI. We have great graphics on the GameCube, and the music is terrific.
And how many different missions or levels does this game have?
We have 11 core levels, but we also have a whole series of bonus missions as well.
And Julian, what's it like working on the GameCube?
We locked the machine. It's really, really easy to program for and develop for. So that's one of the reasons why we could do the game in 8 months.
What were you able to incorporate in the GameCube version?
Well, we've got this cool thing which access the targeting computer and to see the whole game in a completely different view, which helps you picking out the really important targets, and that's just done with the GameCube.
Oh, talk to me about what ships are going to be available in this game.
Every ship that you saw in the classic Star Wars, X-Wings, A-Wings, Y-Wings, B-Wing, plus a whole series of bonus ships we can fly. Oh, and of course the snowspeeder that you saw on Hoth.
So far from what I've seen, the coolest part is when you make the Death Star ride. Did you look at the movie a lot to get in all that detail?
Sure, throughout the entire game development, we've been looking at movie footage, we've listened to the radio dramas. Of that scene in particular, we spent a lot of time trying to get everything absolutely correct to the movie.
Now, does the GameCube controller allow you guys to do some cool stuff?
The analog buttons in the back have a click feature, which is a completely new button in itself, and we're using that for closing and opening wings and speeding up and slowing down.
The one you say is the coolest ship in the whole game?
Would be this baby right here. It's got some of the strongest fire.
Hey, we got trouble! What? Where? What? Oh, I know! What's on my way? I need to now! I got him! I'm hit! I'll tell you, see what you can do with it! Stay on target, Red Leader! Right on!
Use the Force, Tommy.
We got it, Red Leader! Good job!
Reviews on the Run are coming up next.
Oh hey, I'm Lee from PMP Games, and welcome to Don't Blow It, a dating advice segment where I'm also going to show you how to clean your cartridge video games. Viewer Daniel writes in to ask, is it true that blowing into your game cartridges can cause long-term damage? Also, should I ask out my best friend, knowing that if she doesn't reciprocate my feelings, it could ruin the relationship? Thank you, Daniel. Somebody got a word of the day calendar for Christmas. Your video game cartridges require proper time and TLC, just like any relationship does. And while it's true blowing into your carts can lead to short-term gains, it can also lead to long-term erosion the same erosion you're worried about in regards to asking out your friend. Here's what you do. Oh, geez, sorry, dude. I didn't know anybody was still in here. No, it's okay. I'm used to it by now. Hey, sick games, man. You sell them someplace? Shop PMPGamesOnline.com. Join the XP loyalty program and enjoy free shipping on all your favorite games on orders of $65 Canadian or more. Play forever. All right, dude. Good luck with your seance or whatever. Thanks.
EP's Pocket Reviews are brought to you by Hip Gear Accessories.
Hey, I'm here at my local neighborhood comic shop, and I am playing Spider-Man Mysterio's Menace on my Game Boy Advance. And I gotta tell you guys, this is amazing. In fact, I would say that it is as good as the PlayStation 1 Spider-Man game, and you guys know how much I like that one. You're Spider-Man, so you can climb up on the walls and hang upside down, and you've got all of your web attacks. You can swing with your web. He's got spider sense, so he knows when people are gonna attack him from behind. Some of the boss attacks are a little bit cheap, so you'll end up dying more times than you want to, but you're still gonna wanna go back and play the game because the gameplay is so tight. Vicarious Visions put this game together. They're the same team that put Tony Hawk Pro Skater on the Game Boy Advance, and those guys know this machine really well. This is a blast of a game, 9 out of 10. Thank you, Activision, great stuff.
Reviews on the Run is brought to you by Microplay.
Woo!
All right, so here we are on the Forest Moon of Endor.
Yeah.
Because we're in a Star Wars episode.
Okay.
Where we're talking about Rogue Leader, Rogue Squadron 2 for the GameCube.
This is going to be the one game that saves the GameCube this year.
Absolutely. This
I
is the
really
reason
think
why I'm buying my GameCube. It really is the closest we've ever come to playing a Star Wars movie. And one of the things that I like about this game more than anything is that the graphics are so good, the developers have actually been able to recreate and redo scenes from the films with the game art.
The music was really good.
Yes.
But the one thing about the music for me was that sometimes they used MIDI music.
Right.
And other times they used music from the film. Now, I could tell. Could you?
Yeah, I could tell. Yeah, the orchestral stuff sounded way better than the sort of synthy orchestral stuff.
Yeah.
You do get to fly all kinds of cool vehicles from the Star Wars movies.
every
You've got
one.
A-Wings, B-Wings, Y-Wings, X-Wings, the Millennium Falcon's in there,
Yeah.
all kinds of hidden stuff. I felt that the space missions are done better in other games like the X-Wing series. Even still, I highly recommend Rogue Leader. I'm going to give it a 9.5 out of 10.
Right, I give it a 9 even.
9 even.
EGM's right there beside us. They gave it an average score of 9 out of 10.
All right, buddy, let's talk about another high-profile game for this year. It's Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 for the PlayStation 2. What'd you think?
Well, I got to be honest with you. You know, here's the first time we've seen Tony Hawk on the PlayStation 2.
Yep.
Now, graphically, we know what the PlayStation 2 is capable of. To me, it looks more like an upgraded Dreamcast version.
I agree with you. I think the graphics are great on Tony Hawk 3, but they're not the revolution that the first Tony Hawk game was on the PlayStation 1.
Because I've played so much of Tony Hawk, and it's such a great game, don't get me wrong, but at this point, it's kind of starting to get a little stale for me.
But for this game, what you get in this game is absolutely astounding.
You get the park editor.
Yeah, you get the park editor, you get to create a skater,
But
you
again,
can
all
dress
this
them in
stuff-
any way that you want. No,
They had all this stuff in the other games.
They had elements of the stuff. What I love is the imagination that the guys at Neversoft have and how they mix up the gameplay, which is all about tricks and all about styling on your board with all kinds of really unique platform style different objectives.
Right.
And finding all that stuff is a complete blast and it never gets tiring.
I give the game an 8.
I'm going to give it a 9.5 out of 10. It is definitely one to pick up for your PlayStation 2.
EGM agrees with me. They gave it an average score of 9.5.
Whoa, man, look at that!
There goes another one.
Transworld Surf for the Xbox, our first Xbox review.
Let me first start by saying that I think this is the best surfing game ever done to date.
Yes.
Okay?
Herein lies the problem.
It's really, really, really tough to actually do a surfing game.
Well, at least they've mixed it up. There's climate conditions they take into consideration. There's huge waves during the storms. They've incorporated a lot of the objectives that they've used in Tony Hawk style games where you have to scare away birds and you have to free some dolphins. And
First thing I do is I just try to whale into all the other surfers. The problem with that is your karma meter goes to bad, and then when that happens, they have shark warnings.
Right.
And then, like, when you go under, bites onto you, and then he carries you around for about a mile.
Right.
I give Transworld Surf a 7.
I'm going to give it a 6.5.
Okay, next
All right.
game up.
Next game
is The Weakest Link.
on PC. What'd you think?
You know how she's like kind of like annoying in the show?
Yep.
Well, times 10 in the video game. But you know, it is funny though. She does say a lot of funny things and she berates the contestants. And to me, that's funny.
You get 24 pre-made characters that the designers all put together. They're all completely stereotypical.
Yeah.
And then Ann Robinson comes out and asks a
Robinson.
trivia question of any kind of specific sort of category, and you have to answer it, and there's all kinds of strategies about who's ever doing better, might get voted off.
It's Survivor meets Who Wants to Be a Millionaire.
Exactly what it is.
But the problem with this game simply is this.
What's that?
Is that this game looks like is about 3 or 4 years
No,
old.
more than that. It looks like the first attempts at creating 3D characters.
This game
is the weakest link. I'm going to give the weakest link a 3 out of 10. It really is the weakest
Well, I
link.
give it a 4.5 because I'm a sucker for these trivia
love-
games. It's an Ewok! Get fire!
Here's a recap on our reviews, including scores from Electronic Gaming Monthly and Computer Gaming World. Visit our website at www.electplay.com, or if you're mobile, wap.electplay.com.
It's an Ewok! Get fire! Ewok!
Giant Ewok!
What the hell is that? Where's Chewbacca when we need him? Oh my God! Oh no!
This classic episode of The Electric Playground was brought to you by PMP Games, your source for everything video games. Support the partners that support The Electric Playground. Thanks for watching, and play forever.